What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. And I hope everyone's is ready for Christmas. We got 4 days until Christmas. So if you guys are in here right now in the live stream, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Crypto. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, right? And the overall market. We're going to talk about, look at the, do a little market analysis. We're going to look at liquidation heat maps. We're going to look at the overall market, how it's performing, how it's doing. And then we're going to look at the calendar going into the new year, what we got on the calendar, what we need to be watching, and anything else that you guys request. So if you guys have any questions about anything that we cover in today's video, make sure to drop it in the comments. If you have any questions just about crypto overall, of course, drop it in the comments as well. Drop it in the chat if you're watching live here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's flip over to the main monitor. Let's go ahead and open up Bitcoin here. And this is currently the 4-hour chart. As you can see, just as an overview here, you can see that we had this symmetrical triangle form here. After we topped out a couple weeks ago in the beginning of December, topped out at about almost $45,000, 44,769, dropped all the way down here and just kind of consolidated in this range. You can see that the consolidation in the range got a little tighter and tighter, and we had this breakout here. The breakout was above the symmetrical triangle as well as above the 50-day, the 50 moving average on the 4-hour. And then when we got the pullback, you see we got the retest there of that breakout and a continuation to the upside. Now we have, once again, some more consolidation here. So, I mean, as far as what's going on right now in the immediate time, it looks like we're probably going to consolidate a little bit longer. The holidays are upon us. You know, there's going to be a lot of people not trading, probably a lot of not a lot of volume over on the market. So with that, I think we probably continue to see consolidation, maybe leading up to January, to the new year. We can retest these highs. As you can see, we already moved up and retested these highs yesterday. But yeah, overall, I think, you know, we could potentially retest those highs again, maybe coming into January. And I think leading up to the potential ETF decision, we could see, you know, potentially some new highs there in January. So that's pretty much what I'm watching right now. But let's go ahead and look at some, let's start off with the overall market. What's going on in the overall market? Let's refresh these pages here. And let's take a look at the last 7 days. You can see Bitcoin's up about 1%, just a little bit over a percent there. We can see Ethereum's down 3%. So Ethereum's been lagging behind a little bit. And that usually happens pretty often when Bitcoin is moving, right? So when Bitcoin decides to move, a lot of times you'll see Ethereum lag behind a little bit and then, you know, slowly begin to outperform Bitcoin after that. So not really a big surprise there overall. We have BNB up 7% here over the last week, still number 4. What we're gonna notice is Solana has continued to move up here. So it is now overtaking XRP for the number 5 spot here, up 26% in the last week. We're at $93, guys, and we have room to continue going up to 100 plus. I think I looked at it the other day, and my target was like 140, something like that. So just to kind of look at it really quickly, which chart did I do it on? Did it on one of these charts. I thought it was here, probably on the longer term here. Yep, here it is. So, so yeah, this is a Solana chart. As you can see, we had this Fibonacci level here. broke out of that Fibonacci level, and now we pretty much have a free run to about $140. You can see that's the next major resistance there. So this is a potential good play here. So what we did in our Discord is we bought the breakout above $80 here, which was right around where that Fibonacci level was. And we're able to grab some nice profits on this move. So yeah, 140 is a potential next target here. And $100 is of course going to be a big level because of course it's a big whole number. So another level to keep an eye on there. Let me say hello to Giannis tuning in once again. Giannis, appreciate you tuning in. So let's go ahead and see what else is going on here. We can see XRP hasn't really done much, right? It hasn't really moved too much. Still sitting at 61 cents. Cardano has pulled back a little bit, down 4.5%. So this might be a good one because we've seen Cardano move a lot, have some strong moves, and it could potentially do that again. So something to keep an eye on. AVAX has not been playing. It's been trying to keep up here with Solana. Solana, so it's moved into the top 10 now. It surpassed Doge here recently, and I think it could continue going up. I think it's gonna give Cardano here a run for its money and potentially even push XRP if XRP doesn't start moving up soon. So Cardano and AVAX might both push XRP for that number 6 spot potentially there soon. So that's something to watch for as well. It's currently at $46 there. Then we have Polkadot up 8% in the last week. It's pushing that $8 level. We have a ton up 4%, Link down 2% in the last week. It recently started pushing at that $15 resistance once again. We have Matic down 10% in the last week. We have Shiba up 2%, and ICP up 36%. Near Protocol up 48%. So we've had a few big movers here in the last week. Let's see what the top gainers and losers are, and we're gonna see Say up 53%. We have Near Protocol up 51% at number 2, Stacks up 37% at number 4, and ICP Internet Computer up 37% at number 5. Biggest losers: Ordi down 21%, Beam down 16%, Bittenzer, I don't even know what that is, but it's down 15%, Caspa down 13%, and Terra Luna Classic down 12%. So let's take a look at what we have coming up here on the calendar. So I always like to look for the most important events coming up. As you can see, for the rest of this year, and at no surprise really, at the end of the year, not a lot of people are working. We don't really have a lot of things going on. We have something here today that already happened, really not much of effect on the market. Something on Friday, again, unless it's something crazy, it's not gonna really move the market much. These aren't really gonna impact the markets too much. To start off the year, all right, so we have on Wednesday the 3rd, FOMC minutes. So again, that could potentially bring some volatility into the market, as that brings into light more of what we could potentially be seeing as far as the interest rate decision. As you guys know, we are potentially going to be getting around 3 cuts in 2024, interest rate cuts. That is very bullish overall for the market, because that means that it will become cheaper to get a hold of money, since interest rates are going to be cheaper, are going to go down. That means most of the time more money is going to be getting invested overall in the markets. And that means that the dollar's value is probably going to go down as well. So yeah, very bullish for the market overall. We're expecting that soon. We don't really know yet. We'll take a look at the probability to see when we might be expecting that. And then on the second week of the new year, we will get the inflation rate. Of course, that always brings some volatility into the market. So if we look at this, the CME FedWatch tool kind of gives us an idea of when we could potentially be seeing those interest rate cuts. And you can see it's aiming for March. There's a 72% probability as of right now. Of course, this can change. That in March we're gonna get that first rate cut, and then in by May there's a 71% probability that we're gonna have 2 rate cuts by May. Let's see, and then by June there's a probability for 3 rate cuts. So I don't see this happening. I definitely don't think we're gonna get that many rate cuts by then, but I think we could potentially aim for 1 rate cut in that first half of the year, that first quarter of the year maybe. And another thing about that first half of the year, of course, is the Bitcoin halving. So there's a lot of things going on to start off 2024, which is just setting up 2024 for a very, very bullish year overall for crypto. So we're very excited for that. So going back to Bitcoin, let's just kind of do a top-down analysis here and kind of see where things are at overall. As we can see, big resistance still here at that between $45,000 to $48,000, and of course $50,000, right? I think that's that next big level of resistance there. So that's pretty much where we have a lot of resistance, really, from 45 all the way to 50. So that's why I think that we continue to consolidate for the moment. I don't think we see a break of $50,000 until we get that approval for that Bitcoin ETF. So I think once we see that approval for the Bitcoin ETF, my prediction is Bitcoin moves up another, around 5-6 grand, right? And potentially breaks, either tests that $50,000 range and breaks it. And I think then we'll be in that $50,000 range, kind of consolidating there for a month or two. And then as we approach that Bitcoin halving, I think we start pushing into 60. So into this area over here, I think post halving is when we set probably a new all-time high above $70,000. And then I think we consolidate there for a little bit between 60, 70, maybe even 80. And then I think towards the end of the year, we push for 100K. That's just kind of my prediction, my idea. I think that 100K is potentially possible in 2024. But I think we're probably going to be more around, kind of what we did this year. So this year we're up 163%. I think in 2024 we might see something similar to that, which would put us probably around that $90,000 to $100,000. That's why I'm saying 100K. And then usually the year post halving is the most bullish year overall for crypto. So if the same thing happens, then we're talking over 200K price target for Bitcoin, which is pretty wild overall, right? To even think that Bitcoin sitting here currently at $43,000, that it has a potential to push for 200K. But if we look back historically at Bitcoin and what's coming in 2024 and 2025, you can make the case for Bitcoin hitting $200,000 in the next 2 years, which is wild, right? It is wild to even think of that, but it is a possibility there. So I wouldn't be surprised we hit 200K, and then we have a pullback after that, during the bear market back below 100. That would be something that wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking overall. But just ideas for now. If we zoom into the weekly chart, we can pretty much see the same thing that we just spoke about. We have that big resistance up there. We're consolidating between $45,000 and $40,000 right now. We've spoken about we spoke about this range over the last 2 or 3 weeks, really, that we thought that we would consolidate there between 40 to 45 until we got that that potential Bitcoin ETF approval news. I think that's the next catalyst for Bitcoin to push it past this current resistance and to have that continuation up. As we can see on the weekly chart, we're still overbought. We're in that overbought territory on the weekly, but that doesn't mean that there needs to be a correction. So if we look all the way back, the last time we were in overbought, right? So last time we were in overbought, let's look, it began October of 2020, right? October of 2020, entered overbought zone, which was around 72-ish, right? We went up as high as 94, 95. Right now, where are we sitting at right now? Right now, we're sitting at around 82, 83. Well, that's the high that we've gone. We're currently sitting at 76. So let's see, 84. So we were here and we entered it in October, right? Let's see how long this lasted. It wasn't until February of 2022 that we went back into neutral, right? As far as the RSI. So that shows you almost 2 years, right? Around 18 months or so, where we were in overbought territory on the weekly. So, and the last time that we got into overbought territory, October of 2020. So that was basically the beginning after we bottomed out, the beginning of that next bull run to the upside, right? And yeah, the rest is history. So we can kind of see the same thing here. We just got into this overbought territory in October, once again, of 2023. So is it possible that we stay in overbought until 2025? It's definitely possible. We've seen it in the past. It's something that could definitely happen again. So that's something that we're going to be watching here closely as we look at the market every single week. Zooming into the daily. Pretty much the same thing we spoke about in the beginning of the live stream. Now, the thing with the daily RSI, the daily RSI is a little bit different. It doesn't work like the weekly, right? Because the weekly, it's the overall trend, right? As long as the overall trend is moving up, it's fine that that we're overbought, because that's a longer time frame. Now, daily, we still have what is this the RSI has been going down. Now we are in neutral during this recent consolidation. We have gone back down to neutral, but you can see that when things get overbought, it always goes back down to neutral. Then it got overbought again, boom, back down to neutral. And now, it's setting up to have room to move for another move back to the upside, right? So we're no longer overbought. Now, the other thing that we need to pay attention to is the divergence, right? So, are we out of this divergence yet? Is basically the question. If you look here, we still see, even if we don't count this, right? So this is a clear divergence. Price kept continuing going higher and higher and higher as the RSI continued going lower. Now, after this part here, let's see, it moved up, right? We saw that same move there, move up and move down. We saw the move down in consolidation. However, if we see this right here, this move here is higher than this move here. This, what was it? This move here is barely, let me see, is it higher? No, it's not. So this high here is 43,459, 43,34, 40. So I guess it's barely higher. It doesn't look higher. 43,459. Doesn't these look higher? Don't these look higher? Am I missing something? 44. Okay, yeah. 43. Okay, so it's it's $1,000. So the price here is higher than this. So once again, that's showing us some sort of, even though it's small, it is still a sort of divergence there. It's a mini divergence, but it is a divergence. And the overall picture is also a divergence. So, that does make me, maybe question it a little bit, this current move. Because we could put, and then this is the thing. Overall, right? Because of this, it still has me questioning, okay, maybe we don't move lower, but we still need to consolidate, right? And that range is still the same, between 40 to 45, between the recent high, the most recent high, right? But because of this divergence, what stays in the scenario, another play that's still possible, is that we retest this trend line down here, sitting at about in that $38,000 range. It looks like it's getting closer to that $39,000 range now, but it's still down there, right? Now, then the final thing is, okay, even if even with a divergence that we would expect either further consolidation or a further pullback, we have the Bitcoin ETF looming, so the approval. So if that gets approved, you want to be on the right side of the trade, right? Because this thing is gonna all technicals go out the window. This thing is gonna rocket through this resistance and into $50,000 is what we're thinking there. So there's a lot of we have to kind of thread the needle, so to say here, and be careful how we play it. Because we don't want to be on the wrong side of this, when they're saying that there's basically a 99% chance for that Bitcoin ETF approval. So with all that, with that potentially happening, I'm not shorting. I'm not planning to short here. If we get, the play for us right now is, if we get any pullbacks, we're looking to build positions on that downside. So that's basically the play here for us. I would love to get, if we get another retest down here below 42 or even at $42,000, I'm taking long positions there in playing those support areas there. So and of course, anything at $40,000, guys, I'm buying up. And if we drop below that, I am buying up, because it's only a matter of time before we just continue moving up. So that's pretty much how I'm currently playing Bitcoin here. How I'm watching it. As far as trades that I'm looking to take, day trades. Right now, at the current position, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything here. What I'm watching for would probably be a move back down to 42. At 42, I'd be happy to take a trade there, a long position. At 43, potentially, right? But you're more in the middle of nowhere at 43, so it's more high risk. At 44, I'm really not looking to do anything at 44. But a break above the year-to-date highs and a break above 45, now that's a long trade that I'm looking to take. So if we break above $45,000, I have trades set up above that. If we fall back down to 42, I have trades set up that I'll be setting up there as well. And lower than that as well, 40,000 or it's another level that I'll be looking to play. So that's basically what I'm watching for this week. Of course, as price changes, the ideas and the setups change as well. But that's currently what we're watching there. You can see that we're getting wicks to the upside. Usually means that, and this right here, this is called a bearish pin bar. So, and if we look at this, this is a minor resistance here as well. So all that kind of points to price probably moving back down here, probably to that $42,000 range, because it's looking like there's more sellers right now than there's buyers. So and I expect to see that, right? I expect to see this to continue doing that, basically bouncing around here, like potentially something like this until we finally get that news and get a breakout to the upside there. So that's pretty much what I'm watching overall there. As far as what's going on in crypto and Bitcoin and how I'm playing Bitcoin overall for this week. Of course, next week things change. Let's take a look at the liquidation heat maps. Let me refresh it. Let's start at the 3 month. So I want to see what's going on in the 3 month. Let me take a sip of water real quick. All right. So on the 3 month here, you can see that the liquidation levels have been moving up. So they were a lot lower. They were, around that $25,000 range, moved up to 30, and now they're sitting at 33. So that's currently on the 3 month. The biggest liquidity pool is sitting down here around that $33,000 level. I don't think we see that. And to the upside, you see some are building above $45,000. Now let's take a look at the. Let's look at 6 month and yearly for fun, just to see where they're at. You can see we had these liquidity pools. We took all of those out. And right now, the liquidity pools are still all the way down here. And I mean, that's basically a 50% pullback. And I can tell you that 50% pullbacks in Bitcoin after a bull run begins, after the bottom is in and a bull run begins, really don't tend to happen. So I really don't think we ever see that again, those prices again, $25,000. I think this may be the last of $20,000 that we have ever seen when we were down here. I think this is potentially the last time we ever get Bitcoin at these prices. I honestly don't think, I can't see Bitcoin dropping below $30,000 again, unless something huge happens, right? And let's look at the yearly just for fun. And again, it's sitting basically around the same area there. So let's go to the monthly now. Let's zoom in a bit. And on the monthly, you can see that for the first time to the upside, the liquidity pools are higher for now. Because most of the liquidity was down here, was around that $30,000 range, and then at 35. Now you can see it's moved up to 39, but the biggest liquidity pool is sitting above 45. So basically what that means, it's only a matter of time before we hit that, right? Now, the way that market likes to play out, price usually likes to play out, it likes to hit liquidity pools. I wouldn't be surprised to see the price hit 45 and then go back and down into this range, maybe even drop down as low as this liquidity pool down here, just below 40,000, and then move back up. Or it could even move down, hit this liquidity pool, and then move back up and then take this liquidity pool. So I mean, none of those scenarios are out of play. Those are all possible scenarios in Bitcoin overall. So, that's what we always got to keep an eye on this, just to know where those liquidity pools are, because again, Bitcoin loves hitting those liquidity pools. So we got to keep an eye on them. Now, going into the 7-day, I always like to kind of zoom in a little bit here. So you can see that we took out this massive liquidity pull here, went all the way up, and now we've been consolidating ever since. And then we have, so to the downside, we have the biggest liquidity pull right now in the last 7 days, sitting at $40,000. And then to the upside, we have liquidity pulls forming above the highs here that we set up here, a day ago. So we have some liquidity pulls forming there. And then if we look at the last 12 hours, what's been going on? Let's zoom in a bit on this. We can see again, the biggest liquidity pull once again to the upside here. So I mean, it's telling us that it wants to move up. Most of the liquidity pulls right now are to the upside. So there is that potential to test those higher levels there, back up to this upside over here. So overall, again, I'm not looking to short Bitcoin here, even though this is a minor resistance. The idea is to play in favor of the trend, right? Trading is hard enough. Why make it more difficult on yourself by trying to counter trend trade it, right? So the best way to play it is just wait for the long opportunities, right? Set up breakouts. I love breakouts above new levels. So I wouldn't set up breakout here because, as you can see, we've been consolidating there a lot. No breakouts there, but I'm definitely setting a breakout above 45,000. For pullbacks, again, I love 42 is my first level. 40 is the second level. Those are two levels that I'm playing. And yeah, it's pretty much how I'm playing it here this week. So again, I don't expect a lot. We're going into the weekend now. It's Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas weekend. So I'm not expecting a lot of volume, a lot of movements overall. But it's something to keep an eye on, just in case, right? If we get a pullback, I would love a pullback. I'd definitely be looking to play it to build long positions there. Other than that, staying out of the market, enjoying my weekend, enjoying the holidays with the family and all that. So if you guys have any questions, about anything that we've covered in this live stream so far, drop it in the comments, and I'm more than happy to answer them for you. If you have any questions about anything in crypto at all, drop it in the comments. Ducky Dave, what's going on? Reaper, what's up? Ducky Dave said, exciting times for crypto. Good to see all the streams recently. Yeah, definitely very, very exciting times. It's been a long time. It hasn't been easy, man. The last 2 years were definitely tough in crypto overall. There wasn't a lot to be excited about. The only thing really that there was to be excited about was the opportunity to accumulate at those prices, at such cheap prices. So that's basically been, what 2024 has been about. I mean, 2023, right? Accumulating at great prices. Now 2024, we start to switch into, okay, how can we maximize our profits in these next 2 years, right? So now we got to start to switch our mind state from just accumulating to preparing for this bull run that we're gonna get here in 2024, 2025. So yeah, man, I'm definitely setting up some things here in the next few weeks. I have a video coming out this week, and it's gonna be, it might be a little controversial, right? Because it's basically how to make $1 million in the next bull run is basically what the video is. And I go over a strategy that I'm going to be doing myself, and I'm gonna be doing it with you guys. I'm gonna be doing updates on it, where the idea is gonna be to build up a few positions in a few different cryptos and try to make $100,000 on them each, right? So these are going to be leveraged positions, kind of long term, more on the longer side. And we're going to look to To I basically built a plan around an ideal entry, and an ideal amount of capital that's required to build up those positions. And then basically the riskiest part of it is on the initial entry, because in the initial entry is when we are the closest to a possible liquidation. So um, it's a whole thing. I go into all that, how to build the positions for Bitcoin and Ethereum to potentially make 100 grand in the next year or two. So in each of those, in basically one trade. So very excited for that one. I'll be dropping that this week. I already recorded it, just currently in the editing process. And then after that, I want to do a video on the Bitcoin halving, historically, how it's done historically. And then I also have to do a video, some more option trading videos on tutorials on options and all that. So that's basically what I have in the works right now. Then I'll probably do some follow-ups on the $1 million strategy that we're going to be talking about dropping this week. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm gonna go on and grab some lunch because I am really hungry. All right, so since we don't have any questions being dropped in the chat, I'm gonna wrap things up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're live for about 40 minutes. Nice and easy, nice and simple, nice and short and sweet, right? Yeah, we have a video dropping this week, so be on the watch out for that. Is going to be my plan to make $1 million in the next 12 to 24 months by building by building a position, a leverage position, at some ideal spots that I don't think we drop below. So, but even with that, there's always a possibility of dropping below. So, I give you guys the plan with, my idea of if we do drop below, where I think the liquidations need to be so that those liquidation levels are never met. So in order to push those down, you need an exact amount of capital basically, and we calculate all those things. So very exciting to drop that this week. I've been working at that video for probably like a month, to be honest. And I've recorded it probably like 2 or 3 times. It was like, I didn't feel like it was right. So I kept, redoing the script and re-recording it. And I put a lot of time, effort, because I don't want to put anything out where it might fail, right? Even though that's part of trading. But it's kind of a high risk strategy. So I wanted to make sure to put a lot of time and thought into that. So yeah, thank you, Giannis, for tuning in. Wishing you and your family a happy holiday as well. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, peace and love.